Welcome on in, guys. Tobin here with you, and thanks for checking out the channel. Hope everybody's doing fantastic out there. If you guys could subscribe to the channel, it'd be great. Hit that like button, and appreciate you guys stopping by. Just got back from the Kaseya Center, boots on the ground for the Miami Heat red, white, and pink game, one of the awesome events that they do every single year to raise money for the Baptist Health Cancer Center. So just a great job by the Heat, having all the survivors come out there, those battling, doctors, staff members, everybody who does, an incredible job for one of the toughest things many people in our country, too many people have to go through. And, just a shout out to them. I love this event that they do every year. And you get your first little sneak peek at how this Heat roster is going to look. Wanted to get a chance to see how the rookies would look. That was kind of the thing I was most intrigued by, is blending all of these summer league champions into the regulars of this Miami Heat roster. Very cool opportunity today when I got to the arena, as I got a chance to see the new scoreboard Fireball. And man, I'm going to tell you guys right now, if you guys haven't been to a Heat game in a while, or if you went to a Heat game last year, I guess I should rather say, I really genuinely feel like this is going to be a viewing game changer for Miami Heat games. I think Miami Heat games, they do a great job of the atmosphere. I love that arena, and I like, especially when it's packed to the gills, but the way this thing looks right now, the size of this, I think you're going to be distracted by the screens. I mean, the screens are unbelievably big. They have a giant flame that they could make many patterns from. They're going to have different things for game production. The thing I think I'm going to be most excited about is the court lighting and the way that they do it. They took out the orange-ish seats. They've added some black seats in the lower bowl there that I think look sharper. They did a really good job. I got a whole presentation on this from Michael McCullough and their staff before the scrimmage today. They've been dialing this up since 2016 and all the work that they've put into it. And if you think you probably noticed last year, they started the renovations with the corner jumbotrons like this with that, but now like blows it out of the water. So that was a really, really cool thing to get a view on. Once you got to the arena today, it was hard not to just like look immediately and have your eyes glued to it. And the fireball looks really cool. Rest in peace to the Supernova Medusa space ship thing that used to be there. And the thing about this, the screens are so big, the ones that are on the inside, so if you sit low, you'll still have inner screens to look at. Those inner screens are on the inside of the giant screens. Those are the size of the old Trons. Now you have this, and it's really, really cool. I cannot tell you how blown away. Not surprising. This the game ops that they do with the Heat is really, really great, and this is gonna just add another level to it. So I think Heat fans will be really, really excited to check that out. And great job by them. Great job by them. Looking forward to seeing that this season for sure. Then once warm-up started, it was cool. I did get a chance to see the rookies warm up together in their warm-up. I don't know if that's going to be their staple for the regular season. I imagine it will be, but I'm not positive. And Kel'el and Pelle both warming up together. No surprise in this. Kel'el Ware, tall. the guy is tall. Got a chance to see kind of the offensive touch that he has around the basket. He is playing against nobody at that standpoint, but just physically, I hadn't got a chance to see him at media day. I hadn't gotten to see him in any practice or anything like that, so it was my first time seeing him up close, and I was like, whew, big. And Pelle, who really I think was probably the star of the night, he also looked fantastic working with Caron Butler, former Miami Heat first-round pick, and the Heat staff. They just continue to do a great job in development with these guys. So that was really cool to see. We get to the game, and you have the Miami Heat red, white, and pink game is one of these things where the first look, look, there's very little defense being played. This is not bury down in a defensive staff and get in a defensive stance and get after it. But the first piece of news in it that I think everybody was just understandably rolling your eyes at, no Tyler Hero, no Jaime Jaquez, both out with groin injuries. And you're like, here we go with the availability thing. Eric Spoelstra said afterwards, it's not anything to worry about. They're going to be fine. It is a scrimmage. They are trying to be extra cautious as it is. But it is, that was certainly something. That was certainly something that I think everybody took note of, is that no Tyler, no Jaime Jaquez, two of your forces in scoring on this team. You're not going to get a chance to see them. That being said, did open the window for other people. Right out of the gate in this game, Bam Adebayo. You want to talk about three-pointers? Bam Adebayo came out of this thing, and he lit the world on fire with his performance. I mean, like, he was just chucking them from downtown, and he was burying them. I think his final numbers on the statistics, and then mind you, it's a scrimmage, but I think his final one, I think he had 5 3-pointers. I think he was 5 of 12 from downtown. He was feeling it. I will say, one of the observations I had in the pregame on this, Bam did change up his pregame routine in his three-point shooting. Last year, basically just did spot threes, and this time was doing more movement shooting drills with the three-point shots. So definitely something to keep an eye on. Eric Spoelstra saying afterwards and telling the media that, this is something they feel like they can get right after with him, that he is comfortable. The Bam Adebayo shooting threes is going to be, I think, a real thing this year. This is not lip service. This is not a drill. This is not like, in years past, hey, come on, let's see it. Maybe we'll see it. Everybody's stepping around. I feel like toes have been in the water. Everybody is ready to cannonball in and take a deep dive. Jimmy Butler was out there for a little bit, was not really looking for anybody. I will say I loved seeing the passing from Nikola Jović. That guy, he found Bam at one point for a great pass. There were two of my favorite ones. One was Terry Rozier. He found Bam in the corner. Sick pass by Scary Terry. And then Jović, just that drawing everybody into the paint and then just kick it right out to Bam and splash. That was good. Saw Jović a little bit today. He got the three-point shot going. It was mostly threes and dunks. Not a lot of defense. We'll get into the guy who kind of brought it all on that in a second. But he did. You remember there was that story about him punishing lower. He got Drew Smith on him at one point and took advantage of the mouse in the house. So good to see that awareness from him, I guess, and seeing how it continues to grow. I will say, we talk about the sizes of Kel'el Ware. Said this on the broadcast today on QAM, but like Jović, when he walked into that room for our media day interview, I was like, whoa, this dude looks huge. Like, he I mean, done media day every day with Jović since he was 19, and I'm just like, damn, 21, this kid looks grown. He looks very, very filled out. So that is one thing to keep an eye on. I think the big story of today, Kel'el Ware, he had his moments for sure. He had one like air dunk. It looked like Space Jam. And I unfortunately didn't get that one on video. Pelle Larsson was the star of today's show. Just was everywhere and very much reminiscent of what Jaime Jaquez did in the scrimmage last year. Everywhere was Pelle Larsson, dude. That gorgeous mane of Swedish hair. Swedish Swish was doing things, dude. It was gooses galore. He was intangibles. He took the only charge. Was basically the only defensive play in there. Stood right in there, heat culture, but he was nailing threes. He was getting teammates involved. The Wildcat offense was in full effect because him and Keyshawn Johnson, what a connection between those two. Keyshawn Johnson in the second half of this scrimmage, that dude put on a dunk show. He looked absolutely incredible. What a showing by the undrafted two-way contract wing. Very intrigued to see what he can do. I loved one of my favorite players in the summer league. Did get hurt towards the end of the run for the title, but I can see it when they get their hands on molding this kid. I do feel like this guy's the real cut of what they like. Super athletic. I mean, he was doing tomahawk. He was doing windmill. He was doing off the backboard from Pelle Larsson. It was the Wildcats were connecting, dude. Normally the Wildcat offense, that's Bam and Tyler. Arizona is here to come for the crown, dude. Like those guys, as far as school tandem, they looked absolutely awesome. So that was really enjoyable to see. You got a little bit of Alec Burks. You got a little bit of Nasir Little. Nasir Little had some cool action as well. But yeah, man, it was just overall just great to see everybody back on the court. The real deal is still a couple of weeks away, but preseason gets going on Tuesday with a road game against the Charlotte Hornets. You know, hopefully the Heat will have safe travels with everything that's going on with the hurricane, and everybody who watches us on the West Coast. You know, thinking of you, everybody in the state of Florida. You know, we could be bracing for a couple of rough days here. So everybody be safe. Thank you for tuning in. And really a fun night, and good to see everybody back in action on the Heat court, the Heat home court.